Hello and welcome to Bristol Sport TV from Ashton Gate's Sports Bar. In the next 10 minutes we'll bring you all you need to know about this weekend's sporting action, which includes Friday night rugby as Bristol take on London Scottish. City, they're away on Saturday at Rotherham, while the Flyers will host Worcester at the SGS Wise Arena. Well, Sunday we'll see Ashton Gate welcome the England women in their UEFA 2017 Euro qualifier against Bosnia-Herzegovina. And I'm pleased to say that Welsh international and Bristol women's footballer Georgia Evans joins me in studio. Thanks very much for coming in, Georgia. Should be a big weekend, shouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be a great weekend for England. Hopefully get as much fans as we can at the stadium and support the Lionesses. But yeah, massive place as well to have it here at Ashton Gate.
And huge popularity. It seems that ticket sales well over the 10,000 mark.
Yeah, definitely. Again, as I said, hopefully you get a massive crowd, support England, and hopefully get the win with them.
Well, thanks, Georgia. We'll have more from you in a moment. Now, though, let's turn our attention to the men. And Bristol City are hoping to complete the month of November unbeaten. Fresh from holding Sky Bet Championship leaders Hull City to a 1-1 draw on Saturday, they now head to Rotherham United. Here's manager Steve Cottrell.
They look like they've gone back to basics a little bit. And probably that's what Neil's working off the back on. Looking at, a couple of their games, that's probably what he's done, gone back to being difficult to beat, to work hard, to get back into shape quickly and generally work hard for each other. But, that's something that we've got to make sure, certainly we match that, but we haven't been found wanting so far this season in matching anything like that. And then play our own game. That'll be the most important thing this weekend.
Rotherham, I'm sure you'll remember, they were the opposition, your very first league game in charge nearly 2 years ago. In a funny sort of way, that was the game that kind of triggered the run, wasn't it, that you then carried into the start of last season?
Yeah, it did, but we didn't deserve to lose that game. We were the better team on the day up there. We ended up losing the game. Wadey scored a wonderful goal. We ended up losing the game, but we were the better team. And we didn't deserve to lose that day, that's for sure. So hopefully we can go up there and put that record straight this week.
And don't forget, City are in action on Saturday week, December 5th, as they entertain Blackburn Rovers. Well, Bristol Rugby bounced back from 2 defeats with a 9-try win over Scarlets, and now they face the prospect of a mouth-watering championship clash on Friday night against London Scottish, as Tom Vaux reports.
A strong Bristol side got back to winning ways at Ashton Gate on Sunday. 9 tries and an assured defensive display saw the team to a 62-16 victory. Director of Rugby Andy Robinson had this to say following the match.
A really good attitude shown throughout, and in particular in our defensive sets that we put together. We've got a bit of work to do in terms of our understanding our ability to not compound errors by bringing pressure on ourselves, which we did on a couple of occasions. But all in all, I thought that was the most complete performance that we've had this year.
Bristol United's A-League side continued the positive form with a victory at Clifton RFC. London Irish were the visitors, and 2 tries saw the home side to a 24-14 win. Attentions turn back to championship action this Friday night when London Scottish come to town. The impetus is now on Bristol to back up those 2 previous victories and make it 3 wins in 8 days. And don't forget you can catch all the action on Bristol Rugby TV.
Well, it should be a great start to the weekend. And don't forget, tickets available from as little as £1, and City season ticket holders, you can claim one for free. Full details on the Bristol Sport website. Now to basketball, and the Flyers had a pretty tough time of it against London Lions as they suffered their heaviest defeat of the season and an injury to Tyrone Lee. Joel Osborne caught up with Coach K.
He had a little twitch on his ankle, he wasn't able to carry on with the game. Again, we just got to give it a bit of time to see how he develops over the next few days. Hopefully he'll be okay for Worcester, but you never know with ankle injuries. We just got to make sure we don't take any unnecessary risk. We want to have our guys healthy because there's a number of games, a number of winnable games coming up, and we want to make sure we get all our guys ready for it.
And you did mention Cardell McFarlane. We did see him warm up briefly, but you did rule him out of tonight's game.
Yeah, we just felt like we wanted to make sure that Cardell is going to be 100%. And if there was a bit of doubt, We didn't want to take any unnecessary risk. The season is a marathon, it's not a sprint, and we've got to think ahead. So I felt it was the right for our team to rest him for this game, have him ready for Worcester. He's got to be definitely 100% ready for it. And it was a decision that we made with our physio, and I think it was the right thing to do.
And the good news there, as you heard Coach Kay, the return of Cardell McFarland guaranteed then for this weekend against Worcester, the Flyers' top scorer. Of course, make sure you get your tickets, all available on the Flyers' new website. Well, now to boxing. And last week we spoke to Chris Sanagar ahead of Lee Haskins' world title fight in Vegas, which in the end turned out to be somewhat of a damp squib. Haskins' opponent, Randy Caballero, failed to make the weight on the day, ended up being 5.5 pounds over the fighting weight. And so Haskins was awarded the IBF World Bantamweight title without even stepping into the ring. Well, Haskins said he was devastated not getting to fight, and we'll hopefully get him in studio once he is back in town. Well, speaking of coming to town, the England women's footballers were here earlier ahead of their Euro qualifier on Sunday, and we caught up with Ellen White when the Lionesses paid a visit to Bristol Grammar School.
It's been a long time coming, really. Obviously, we got back from the World Cup kind of late June, so it's been July, so it's been a long time waiting to have a home game, an England game. So it'd be fantastic to play and get a lot of supporters down and thank them for supporting us at the World Cup, and hopefully put in a good performance as well. But all the girls are really looking forward to finally playing on home soil again.
As I mentioned earlier, Georgia Evans is here with me in studio to talk through all things England, Wales and Bristol women's football, because it has been a big week for the Academy girls, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's a big moment for the club. I mean, being the only really WSL club that isn't paired with a men's team, I think it is massive for us to progress as a club and really stick together. I think it's really good for both us and City to really expand on Bristol Sport.
So, and you're no stranger to playing at Ashton Gate either, are you? Of course, because that link has already been established where we watched you playing in your Champions League games here.
Yeah, definitely. It was really good to come in here and play in the Champions League. It was a brilliant night for us as we beat Barcelona in the Champions League quarter-final. So it was brilliant. Definitely for us to progress, we need to keep going as a club and really start gelling.
Well, you say it has been a difficult season as well for you. Since that heady moment of beating Barcelona here at Ashton Gate, it was a really tough time for the club, wasn't it? I mean, you've effectively had 3 managers in just over 18 months.
Yeah, it was a slow start to a season, really. As I said, we didn't really gel much at the start of the season, but as the new manager, Willie Kirk's come in, we've really been bonding and really been progressing.
Well, this is all your fitness training, isn't it? How hard is it going to be going in, because of course you were relegated down to WSL 2, you are going to be the team to beat, because normally the relegated team is the big one that everyone wants to take out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it wasn't great obviously going down this season, but that's definitely the height. What we need to do next season is definitely think to go up to WSL 1. We just need to keep working hard, hopefully get some new players in, and definitely progress up to WSL 1.
You mentioned there about getting new players in. Of course, the difficulty is when you're relegated, you often lose senior players. I know Mary Earps has been your goalkeeper. She's had her full England call-up, not playing this weekend, but she's made it onto the senior squad. How hard is it to keep those kind of players, and players like yourself, still committed to Bristol?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've gone down, so it's not the best players. Obviously want to play in WSL 1, the highest league in England for women. So it is hard to keep players, but as long as obviously we get players in, I mean, and work as a team, then there's no doubt that we're going to go up.
And Willie has talked much about the development of the grassroots and bringing the younger players on. So actually having a season in the WSL 2 will give you a chance to do that. Yeah,
there's some really good players coming up from the development team, the Centre of Excellence, really good players coming up. So I mean, for us as a club, we are good at developing players up to our first team. So in terms of that, I think we've got some good girls coming through.
Now, of course, we've talked about the England international. You played under Mark Sampson, I guess, when he was the Bristol Academy women's manager, and such a successful run you had with him.
Yeah, definitely. He was a brilliant coach at Bristol. I'm always supporting Mark and supporting the England team, so hopefully they get the win.
Yeah, I know, and a lot of you are coming down this weekend as well. I mean, it's been amazing support, isn't it? Because we're at sales of over 10,500. It's the first time that the England women are playing on home soil since that fantastic run at the World Cup.
Yeah, I know, it's really good, and to have it obviously at Ashton Gate is just even better, really. But yeah, I know a lot of people that are coming down and hopefully support the Lionesses and get the win.
So, crystal ball gazing, what would you predict the win will be?
I'm saying 3-1 England.
Oh, 3-1 confident. Bosnia and Herzegovina are traditionally ranked lower, I presume. So after England's performance, they've got to be one of the teams to beat.
Yeah, I mean, you can never really say who's going to win on the day. It's who turns up. So hopefully England turn up like they have in the World Cup, put everything into it, and yeah, get the win.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sure we'll see you down here on Sunday, and best of luck with the rehab of the knee. I know you're back to fitness almost, and just remind us when your season starts again. It's in March next year, isn't it?
Yeah, March next year. So come down to Stoke Gifford Stadium and support us. I think March, April time.
Yep. All right, Georgia. We will do. Thanks very much for that, and don't forget, as Georgia said, do come down this weekend. England Lionesses in their Euro 2017 qualifier. Tickets available for concessions from £2.50 and adults from £5. Just go to the Bristol Sport website for that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the programme this week. Do join us again next week, but in the meantime, have a great weekend of Bristol Sport.